They said a broken man stays broken, like shattered glass on the floor. That once the cracks start showing, you ain't the same no more. Maybe they're right about the cracks, but wrong about the rest. 'Cause every scar I've ever carried taught me how to stand my best. I watched dreams fall apart like bombs in a hurricane. Watched people walk away and leave me standing in the rain. There were nights I thought the damage would finally finish me, but every piece that hit the ground built who I was meant to be. The world saw ruins, the world saw pain, but I saw lessons inside the flames. I'm built from broken pieces. Every crack became my strength. Every fall became a reason to keep going one more day. Built from broken pieces, not despite the pain I've known, but because I walked right through it and made the struggle my own. Yeah, made the struggle my own. My old truck's got dents and scratches from roads just traveled through, and every mark upon his body tells a story that is true. Ain't that how life works too? Ain't that how people grow? The smoothest stones don't come from stones, the strongest hearts do though. I've carried loss and disappointment like weight across my back, but every burden taught me something that comfort often lacks. Now I don't hide my scars or wish my past away, 'cause every piece I wanted gone helped make me who I am today. The years move fast, the lessons stayed, and everyone helped shape the way. I'm built from broken pieces. Every crack became my strength. Every fall became a reason to keep going one more day. Built from broken pieces, not despite the pain I've known, but because I walked right through it and made the struggle my own. Yeah, the mirror tells a different story than it did years ago. Not perfect, not untouched, but stronger than before. 'Cause survival ain't about escaping every hardship life can bring. It's about becoming someone who can carry anything. Yeah, I'm built from broken pieces, and I wouldn't change a thing. 'Cause every storm that tried to break me ended up teaching me to win. I'm built from broken pieces, like an old road forged by time. Every crack became a pathway leading me to this life. Sits me on the back roads, the shadows stretch and fade, and I thank every broken piece for the man it helped create. The neon sign is buzzing like a heartbeat in the dark. Rain keeps falling on the window, leaving rivers through the sparks. The bartender knows my first name, and every story I don't tell I spent enough nights in this place trying to drink my way through hell. Every stool holds a memory, every glass reflects a face, and every song coming through the speakers takes me back to another place. I came here looking for silence, but silence never shows. Instead I find another memory every time the whiskey flows. The room gets blurry, the night gets cold, every drink brings back another ghost. One more bottle, one more ghost, sitting right beside me, talking about the things we lost and how things used to be. One more bottle, one more ghost, riding through my mind. The whiskey keeps on disappearing, but the ghosts stay every time. There's a girl in a faded photograph tucked inside my wildest still, a reminder that forever can be broken by free will. There's a friend I never called enough, a father I should've known, 1,000 little regrets that still follow me home. The highway outside keeps stretching past the edge of town, like it's trying to tell me something as the rain keeps falling down. Maybe running isn't healing, maybe pain ain't meant to hide, maybe every ghost I'm carrying just wants to be recognized. The lights grow dim, the hours slow, every drink invites another ghost. One more bottle, one more ghost, sitting right beside me, talking about the things we lost and how things used to be. One more bottle, one more ghost, riding through my mind. The whiskey keeps on disappearing, but the ghosts stay every time. Instead of trying to forget, 'cause every ghost is just a lesson wrapped inside regret. Maybe they ain't here to haunt me, maybe they're here to remind the man I am becoming of the man I left behind. One more bottle, one more ghost, but something feels different. Somehow the night is still a lonely road, but I can see the light. One more bottle, one more ghost, and I'll be alright. The last call echoes softly, the rain begins to slow. I leave a tip upon the counter and walk out with my ghost. The highway stretches endless under a pale moonlight, white lines cutting through the darkness like memories through the night. Got one hand on the wheel and one eye on the road, but I swear I feel a presence every mile that I go. The passenger seat sits empty, at least that's what it seems. But some nights I catch a shadow, living somewhere in between. Maybe it's an old friend, maybe it's the man I used to be. Maybe it's every goodbye still riding here with me. The radio fades to static, the cold wind chills my skin, and I hear familiar whispers coming through the dark again. There's a ghost riding shotgun on every road I roam, a silent conversation between the lost and the known. Ghost riding shotgun through the midnight rain. I can't leave it behind me, 'cause it's running through my veins. I passed the old county bridge where we used to waste our time, laughing at the future like we'd never cross the line. Now those days feel distant like smoke above a flame, but every mile marker knows I still remember every name. Some ghosts carry sorrow, some ghosts carry regret. Mine just keeps reminding me of things I can't forget. Not to haunt me forever, not to drag me down below, but to make sure I remember the places I've called home. The moon keeps climbing higher, the tides keep singing low, and somewhere in the darkness that ghost won't let go. There's a ghost riding shotgun on every road I roam, a silent conversation between the lost and the known. Ghost riding shotgun through the midnight rain. I can't leave it behind me, 'cause it's running through my veins. Maybe every soul carries one, a shadow from the past, a reminder that the moments we love were never meant to last. And maybe that's the reason the ghost still rides tonight, to help me keep moving forward instead of looking behind. There's a ghost riding shotgun, but I don't fear it anymore. It's just another chapter of the life I lived before. Ghost riding shotgun till the sunrise breaks the dark, a memory beside me and a fire inside my heart. The dawn appears ahead of me, the night begins to fade, but the ghost riding shotgun will always know my name. There's a half-empty bottle sitting where you used to be. Neon lights are flickering like ghosts that won't leave me. This bar knows all my secrets, these walls know all my lies. Every night I come here hoping The whiskey helps me say goodbye. I tried another round of burning every photograph we made, but memories don't drown so easy, no matter what I pay. The jukebox keeps on playing songs we used to sing, and every glass I raise tonight just brings you back again. The more I drink, the more I see the girl I lost still haunting me. Whiskey can't bury her memory, can't sink it to the bottom of the glass. I've been drinking like a desperate man, trying to outrun the past. Every bottle tells the same old story, every shot keeps setting her free. Whiskey can't bury her memory, and her memory won't bury me. I drove down old county roads where we used to chase the stars. Every mile felt like yesterday, every turn reopened scars. The moon still hangs above the pines, just like it did back then, but now it's shining on a man learning how to lose again. I blame myself for everything, the nights, the fights, the end. But some hearts break without a reason, no matter how hard you've been. The pain still comes, the pain still stays, but I don't hide like yesterday. Whiskey can't bury her memory, can't sink it to the bottom of the glass. I've been drinking like a desperate man, trying to outrun the past. Every bottle tells the same old story, every shot keeps setting her free. Whiskey can't bury her memory, and her memory won't bury me. The bartender said time heals all, but time ain't healed me yet. Still I wake up every morning with a little less regret. Maybe moving on ain't forgetting, maybe that's not what it's for. Maybe healing means surviving what's already gone before. Whiskey can't bury her memory, but it can't keep me down forever. Every tear becomes a lesson, every storm becomes the weather. Tonight I raise one final glass to who we used to be. Whiskey can't bury her memory, but her memory won't bury me. The neon face, the last call rings, and somewhere in the silence I finally start to breathe. I remember that old dirt road where I first learned how to run. Thought I could leave the past behind with enough miles and a loaded gun. Every county line I crossed, every motel neon light Felt like one more chance to disappear into the middle of the night. But there's a thing about the darkness most people never understand. You can outrun 1,000 memories, but not the one holding your hand. The mirror changed, the years moved on, the scars faded from sight. But every time I look behind me, there was in the headlights. I spent years chasing freedom, thinking distance was enough. But some things follow forever when life starts getting rough. My shadow never left. It stayed through every storm, through every broken promise, through every shape and form. When the world turned cold and empty, when the road became my home, my shadow never left. So I was never truly alone. I've sat beside dying campfires, watched the embers lose their glow, thinking about the man I used to be and the things I wish I didn't know. Some ghosts scream like thunder, some hum without a sound. Mine just walks a step behind me everywhere I roam this town. It's seen every bad decision, every fight I couldn't win, every prayer whispered softly for forgiveness from my sins. And somehow through the chaos, through every fall and climb, it never judged the person I became with time. Now I don't fear the darkness, I don't fear the pain, 'cause every scar reminds me I've survived the rain. My shadow never left. It stayed through every storm, through every broken promise, through every shape and form. When the world turned cold and empty, when the road became my home, my shadow never left. So I was never truly alone. Maybe we all carry shadows, maybe that's how healing starts. Not by killing every memory, but by making peace with who we are. The night still has its demons, the wind still knows my name, but I've stopped running circles through the same old flames. My shadow never left, and now I'm glad it stayed. It carried all the lessons that the hard years made. Every mile, every heartbreak, every battle that I've known, my shadow never left and helped me find my way home. The moon hangs over the pines, the highway fades from sight. My shadow never left, and it'll ride with me tonight. Clouds rolled in without warning, black as coal across the sky. The kind of storm that makes a man question every reason why. I've seen roads disappear beneath me, I've watched bridges wash away, I've had plans fall apart overnight, and dreams that couldn't stay. The wind kept screaming through the valley, like it knew my deepest fears, bringing back old memories from the hardest of my years. But I've learned something about storms after all this time alive. They can bend you toward the ground, but they can't decide if you survive. The thunder roars, the lightning strikes, but I ain't giving up without a fight. I'm still standing in the storm, with rain running down my face. Still standing in the storm, and I refuse to break. Every battle left a mark, every scar became my armor. I'm still standing in the storm, and I'm only getting stronger. There were nights I felt abandoned by luck, by faith, by hope. The kind of nights where every breath felt harder than before. I buried people that I loved, watched opportunities fade, seen good hearts lose their way, as strong men lose their faith. But every time I hit the bottom, something pulled me back again. Maybe it was stubborn pride, maybe it was who I've always been. 'Cause quitting never feared me, and surrender ain't my style. I'd rather crawl through hell itself than stop before the final mile. The rain falls hard, the cold cuts deep, but a warrior's promise is one he'll keep. I'm still standing in the storm, with rain running down my face. Still standing in the storm, and I refuse to break. Every battle left a mark, every scar became my armor. I'm still standing in the storm, and I'm only getting stronger. Storms don't last forever, even when they feel that way. The darkest clouds eventually give room to brighter days, and every drop that's falling now will someday feed the ground, where stronger roots are waiting to grow from what I felt. I'm still standing in the storm, and I can finally see the storm wasn't sent to stop me, it was sent to shape me. Still standing in the storm, with my boots dug in the mud, still carrying the fire, still carrying the blood. Still standing in the storm, as the clouds begin to part. The weather tried to break me, but it only forged my heart. The rain slows down, the sun breaks through, and I keep moving forward like survivors always do. I used to think that healing meant the hurt would disappear, that one day I'd wake up different, and the ghosts would leave me here. I spent years chasing answers at the bottom of a blast, trying to outrun old memories that were built to last. Every mile down every highway, every town I left behind, still carried pieces of the battles I was fighting in my mind. 'Cause pain ain't like a stranger that eventually walks away. Sometimes it becomes a shadow that decides it's gonna stay. I fought it hard, I fought in vain, till I stopped running and faced the pain. I learned to carry the pain without letting it carry me. Learn to walk through the darkness and still believe. I learned to carry the pain like a scar beneath my skin, a reminder of the battles and the places that I've been. My father used to tell me, son, life ain't always fair. Some stones don't come to break you, they come to see who's there. I didn't understand those words back when I was young, before the losses and the heartbreaks, before the damage had been done. Now I hear them in the silence when the nights get long and cold, and every year I understand a little more what he told. Strength ain't found in comfort and peace, ain't free or rain. Sometimes wisdom only arrives after walking through the pain. The road keeps turning, the years keep rolling, and every burden keeps revealing. I learned to carry the pain without letting it carry me. Learn to walk through the darkness and still believe. I learned to carry the pain like a scar beneath my skin, a reminder of the battle and the places that I've been. The pain still rides beside me on certain nights alone, but it no longer controls the direction that I go. It's part of my story now, part of the man I became, and I finally made my peace with carrying the weight. I learned to carry the pain and somehow found my strength, not because it disappeared, but because I went the length. I learned to carry the pain and keep moving anyway, 'cause the strongest hearts are built one hard mile a day. The sunrise breaks the horizon, the night releases its claim, and I keep walking forward, carrying the pain, but never carrying the shame. There's a withered sign at the county line, standing where the blacktop bends. I've crossed it more times than I can count, chasing roads that never end. I crossed it when I was 18, thinking I knew everything, a rebel heart and a full tank, dreaming bigger than my means. I crossed it after heartbreak, with whiskey burning in my chest, convinced the next town over would somehow hurt me less. But every road kept teaching what pride refused to learn. Some Lessons only make sense after you've been burned. The miles kept passing, the years rolled by, and every mistake became a guide. Lessons from the county line, written in dust and time. Every scar, every wrong turn became a road sign. Lessons from the county line, paid for mile by mile. The road didn't make life easy, but it taught me how to survive. I've seen angels in old diners and demons in expensive suits. Seen poor men rich in character and rich men lost in truth. I buried friends too early, watched fathers say goodbye. Learned that strength ain't being fearless, it's standing back up and trying. The graveyards taught me gratitude, the storms taught me grit. The lonely nights taught patience, and the darkness taught me this: that healing ain't forgetting, and freedom ain't escape. It's carrying your story without carrying the weight. The moon still rises, the river still flows, and every answer came from the road. Lessons from the county line, written in dust and time. Every scar, every wrong turn became a road sign. Lessons from the county line, paid for mile by mile. The road didn't make life easy, but it taught me how to survive. With my demons, I learned to carry pain. I watched old dreams burn down and still danced in the rain. I found ghosts in graveyards, found hope in the dark, found pieces of myself scattered across the back roads of my heart. And now I finally understand what all those miles were for. The road wasn't taken from me, it was giving me something more. Lessons from the county line, now they're part of who I am. Every storm I weather helped me become this man. Lessons from the county line, still guiding me tonight, like headlights on a back road, cutting through the dark. Lessons from the county line, and if I had to do it all again, I'd take every wrong turn twice to learn these lessons in the end. The county line fades behind me, the sunrise paints the sky. 30 roads, 30 stories, one long ride through life, and I keep driving forward with gratitude in my soul for all the lessons from the county line that brought me home. There's a worn-out stool in the corner where I always end up late, like it's waiting for my troubles and every bad choice that I made. The bartender pours in silence, he don't ask me where I've been, 'cause these walls have heard the stories of 1,000 broken men. Tonight the rain keeps falling, like it knows what's on my mind. Every drop against the window feels like another warning sign. I've spent years acting fearless, like nothing could bring me down. But the truth comes out easier when nobody's around. The louder the jukebox plays, the harder it is to pretend that I don't carry old mistakes like lifelong friends. These are Barstool Confessions, spilled between the whiskey and the smoke. All the things I never told nobody, all the pain hidden in my jokes. These are Barstool Confessions, from a man who's seen too much, trying to heal the kind of wounds that time alone can't touch. I confess I miss my father, though I never said it loud. Confessed I lost a good woman when I let my pride talk proud. Confessed there were nights I wonder if I'd ever find my way, if the road was leading somewhere or just stealing years away. The neon lights keep flickering like memories on a screen, showing every version of myself and everything I've been. Some truths are hard to swallow, some scars don't fade with age, but carrying them forever only builds another cage. The clock keeps ticking, the night rolls on, and every secret weighs less once it's gone. These are Barstool Confessions, spilled between the whiskey and the smoke. All the things I never told nobody, all the pain hidden in my jokes. These are Barstool Confessions, from a man who's seen too much, trying to heal the kind of wounds that time alone can't touch. Maybe strength ain't being silent, maybe strength ain't standing tall, maybe strength is telling the truth. When you spend years building walls, the storm outside keeps raging, but something inside feels clear, like every burden I've been carrying just disappeared. These are Barstool Confessions, the last ones I'll leave behind, 'cause tomorrow ain't waiting for a man trapped in his mind. These are Barstool Confessions, and tonight I finally see the hardest truth I ever faced was learning to forgive me. The bartender nods goodbye, the rain begins to slow. I leave a few dollars on the counter and finally let it go. I woke up with the sunrise and a headache from the past. Another night's been chasing shadows that were never built to last. The bottle on the dashboard, still rolling on the floor, like every bad decision I've been carrying before. This old truck knows my story, every mile and every scar, Every time I swore I'd leave it, I never made it very far. 'Cause yesterday keeps calling, like a song I can't forget. And every road I take tonight leads me right back to regret. The whiskey burns, the memories stay. No matter how hard I drank them away, I'm drunk on yesterday, on every word we never said, every dream that slipped away, every ghost inside my head. I keep pouring one more round, trying to numb the pain, but I'm drunk on yesterday, and it keeps calling my name. The jukebox sings our favorite song, like it knows I'm still alone. And every neon light reminds me of a place that felt like home. I blame fate and circumstance, I blame the pouring rain, but the truth is some wounds linger long after love is gone away. The moon hangs over Main Street like it did when we were young, back when forever sounded easy, rolling off our tongues. Now forever feels like distance, measured in broken dreams. And nothing's ever quite as simple as it used to seem. The night grows cold, the bar grows loud, but your memory still stands out in the crowd. I'm drunk on yesterday, on every word we never said, every dream that slipped away, every ghost inside my head. I keep pouring one more round, trying to numb the pain, but I'm drunk on yesterday, and it keeps calling my name. Maybe healing ain't forgetting, maybe that's not how it goes. Maybe it's learning how to carry the weight that nobody knows. 'Cause every scar becomes a chapter, every loss becomes a page, and every man must face the story he was trying to escape. I'm drunk on yesterday, but I ain't drowning anymore. I spent enough nights looking backwards, standing at the same old door. Tonight I'll let the memories stay, without letting them remain. I'm drunk on yesterday, but tomorrow's worth the pain. The sun will rise beyond these hills, like it always does again. And yesterday can keep his whiskey, I'm moving on from them. There's an old hill outside this town, where the wild grass bends and sways, where the wind moves through the cedar trees like whispers from forgotten days. I used to drive up there at midnight, when the world became too loud, to sit beside the silent storms and think about what time allowed. Some names faded from the marble, some stories vanished in the rain, but every cross and withered marker still carried someone's pain. And every time I walked among them, Beneath that moonlit flame, I felt something deep inside me, like the grave still called my name. The night grows colder, the shadows lean, and the past feels closer than it's ever been. The grave still calls my name from somewhere in the dark, reminding me that life is short and every second leaves a mark. The grave still calls my name, like thunder before the rain, not to pull me underground, but to make me live again. Buried dreams upon that hillside, along with people that I knew, a younger version of myself, and all the things I thought were true. The reckless kid who feared nothing, the broken man who lost his way, the angry soul chasing vengeance. They're all buried there today, and maybe that's why I return to that lonely patch of earth, to remember every ending can become a second birth. The dead don't speak in words, at least not the way we do, but every grave has something it tries to teach to you. The wind keeps talking, the moon hangs low, and every lesson comes from letting go. The grave still calls my name from somewhere in the dark, reminding me that life is short and every second leaves a mark. The grave still calls my name, like thunder before the rain, not to pull me underground, but to make me live again. One day my own stone may stand here beneath the endless sky, and all that's left will be the stories people tell after goodbye. So I won't waste another sunrise living trapped inside my fears, 'cause every grave I've ever visited spent all of its tomorrows years ago. The grave still calls my name, but I no longer feel afraid. It's not a voice of darkness, it's a reminder not to wait. The grave still calls my name, and now I understand. The dead teach us how to live, if we're willing to listen. The first light touched the horizon, the stars faded from the frame. I drove away from that old hillside, but the lessons still remain. There's a crack in the mirror, and a crack inside my chest. Both been there for so long now, I can't tell which hurts the best. The bartender keeps pouring, like he's trying to save my life, but every shot just brings me closer to the reasons I can't sleep at night. I've been chasing numbness down every road I know, but I go. The jukebox sings a heartbreak, the neon paints me blue, and every face inside this bar somehow reminds me of you. The bottle gets lighter, the night gets old, but nothing fills an empty soul. Empty glass, empty soul, sitting here alone again, trying to drown 1,000 memories that keep floating back in. Empty glass, empty soul, that's the story I've been told. No matter how much whiskey disappears, the loneliness still holds. I remember summer evenings driving nowhere with the windows down, back when dreams felt endless and love was all around. Now the highway feels colder, the stars don't shine the same, and every mile reminds me of everything that changed. I blame the world for breaking, I blame fate for every scar, but sometimes the hardest truth is we become who we really are. And maybe healing starts the moment you stop running from the pain, instead of trying to bury it with another drink again. The room spins slower, the truth comes clear. The thing I'm fighting is already here. Empty glass, empty soul, sitting here alone again, trying to drown 1,000 memories that keep floating back in. Empty glass, empty soul, that's the story I've been told. No matter how much whiskey disappears, the loneliness still holds. Then I looked around the room at all the faces hiding scars, everybody fighting something underneath the neon stars. Maybe I ain't the only one trying to outrun yesterday. Maybe we're all just broken hearts, looking for a place to stay. Empty glass, empty soul, but tonight I finally know the answer wasn't in the bottle. It was learning to let go. Empty glass, empty soul, no longer owns me anymore, 'cause healing starts when you stand up and walk right out that door. The sunrise waits beyond the hills, the darkness starts to roll. I leave behind the empty glass and carry home my soul.